This is the stuff you really need to pay attention to and think about, because it can happen in the blink of an eye where you're just having a good old day riding bikes 1 second, and then boom, you're getting into a really bad spot in the next second. If you do this stuff, use this kind of mental awareness and judgment, it's really going to make a big difference in your survivability on a motorcycle. Everything about their driving sucks. Pieces hanging off all over the place. And that's why the car looks like that, right? It's so beat up and jacked up because they drive like crap. Probably been in a ton of accidents with that car. Here's a good awareness. You're just entered city limits here. This is Longmont. I'm on Main Street. There's going to be a lot of traffic, obviously you can tell already, as well as a lot of vehicles in the median that are turning. So these left turning vehicles, these are the ones that'll kill you a lot of the time on your motorcycle. These guys that like that Acura right there. So even if you think they should see you as clear as day, don't count on it. Even if you can see their eyeballs and they're looking right at you, don't count on it. Really watch these left turning vehicles. And one of the ways you can do that is by just adjusting your lane position. Scooch myself over here, give myself a little more space cushion between me and them. That way if I do see their front wheels start to move, the front of their vehicle starts to turn, I have a little, just that half a second more time and space, reaction time. That might be the difference between me getting in a crash and dying or cruising on my merry way and having a good day. If it's something so simple as adjusting your lane position, then adjust it and give yourself a much better chance, be in a much safer position, and have an escape route picked out. If one of these cars in the median does decide to pull out in front of me, I don't want to have to decide then, okay, now where am I going to go? I want to already be thinking ahead, anticipating, hey, this vehicle, when they pull out in front of me, I'm going to go over there. That's the kind of mentality and attitude you need to have when riding a motorcycle. Have it planned out ahead of time, because if you try to plan it on the fly as it's happening, good luck. Your reaction time isn't that fast. Then when I get to these stops here, I like to make sure I'm always in first gear, and then you can see I'm kind of rocking the bike in and out of that friction zone and just giving it a little bit of throttle, using my clutch out, making sure that I'm actually in gear, that if I need to launch my clutch and give it some gas and launch my bike and get out of there, that I'm ready to do that, that the bike's ready to do that. So once again, planning ahead. Is the bike working properly? If someone comes to smash me from behind, I'm going to my escape route, the bike's ready to do that, I'm ready to do that. Have it all planned out. Another spot right here. Notice I'm positioning myself well beyond the rear bumper of this Scion in front of me. I see so many motorcycle riders on YouTube and just out in public that position themselves dead center right behind the license plate, and they're like inches away from the rear bumper. You have nowhere to go. You're going to become smushed on the back of that car, and you're never going to have a chance, right? Even if you had the best escape route in the world planned out in your head, you don't have the capability to get there if you're that close in that position. Alternatively, where I was, where I'm still, you can see I have a straight line shot along this dotted white line here, right? So if that Scion suddenly slammed on their brakes, if anything happened, I can just cruise right down the middle. I have a lane wide enough for a motorcycle. I can go right between this dump truck and these cars up here at the red light, right? My escape route is that far planned ahead to get myself out of a crappy spot. And once again, look how I position myself. My foot is basically on the white line here. I can check my mirrors, make sure I'm in first gear. But notice, if I needed to punch it, I can punch it right through there. Right through the gap, not into the back of the dump truck and get smushed like a little Oreo cream filling, right? So that's the kind of stuff you want to be thinking ahead. Position yourself in the lane, especially for a lot of you who are brand new, beginners, just getting out on the streets on your bike. This is the stuff you really need to pay attention to and think about, because it can happen in the blink of an eye where you're just having a good old day riding bikes 1 second, and then boom, you're getting into a really bad spot in the next second. If you do this stuff, use this kind of mental awareness and judgment, it's really going to make a big difference in your survivability on a motorcycle. If you're just out here kind of, you know, doo-doo-doo and, oh, beautiful day, motorcycles, yippee, and you have no conscious thought or awareness to any of this positioning or judgment stuff, you're not going to last long on a bike. If you're having a lapse of judgment, just think about all these other people in these automobiles all around you, everywhere, all day, every day. None of these people are thinking any thoughts in their brain besides, you know, what am I going to eat for lunch? What's this text message say? Oh, I don't like this song on the radio, let me change it. Everything but what's going on the road and paying attention. So it's up to you to pay attention for yourself and for them. All of the lapses in judgment that they are definitely having, you need to make up for with your own super focused expert judgment and attention. If they're not paying attention and you're not paying attention, good luck to both of you. And guess what? They can afford not to pay attention in their cars and trucks because they have airbags and seat belts and a bunch of protective material around them. So if they don't pay attention and come over into my lane and run into me, not a big deal. They might scrape a little paint, might get a little dent in their door, in their fender. What's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna be mangled mess of meat. That's the new t-shirt design. Mangled mess of meat. Don't be a mangled mess of meat. Get training and don't be an idiot.